Hi. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Joan Jack, and I wanted to pop on today. I was driving from Atlin into Whitehorse to pick up one of our daughters, and I started thinking about, the man we just all saw die, be killed by police. And I feel so terrible about that. Like I of course I cried, and I thought of my own sons that are brown, and how it's just not safe for our men. The police kill our men, and I just was so upset. So I thought, well, I'm going to pop on and I'm going to do an episode about what I'm thinking. So I've just got to take the camera that way. So I'm just going to let her rip. I have no idea. I have a bunch of scattered thoughts. When I do this, I don't make notes or whatever. I just speak from my heart, and I just feel compelled to speak because I can. So what I was thinking was, what the hell's going on here? I'm outraged. I'm disgusted. I can't even think of enough adjectives to describe how I'm feeling about, how the police just kill Black people. But even more, I feel sad, and I feel, I don't know, there's not even words for what I feel, really, because how come no one gets upset when Indians are killed? What the hell? Are we of that little value? Are we of that little value that the general public doesn't give a shit when we're killed? I just feel so angry about that. And I know, people are like, oh, don't be angry. Don't be angry. You know what? Of course we should be angry. If your son or your daughter was murdered or missing, you'd be fucking angry too. Excuse my language, and you should be. And people should not tell you, calm down, calm down. I'm just so outraged. This time last year, Shelley Denny had a vision for us as Indigenous women, Native American women, to ride our motorcycles around North America in the shape of a medicine wheel. And we did that. I rode my Harley with other women, and I rode mine for 52 days, 17,000 kilometers. And if you made eye contact with us, we told you that in Canada, there's a minimum of 4,000 murdered and missing women. Like I've said before, if there were 4,000 murdered and missing white women in Canada, what would be happening? If there were 4,000 murdered and missing Black women in Canada, what would be happening? But because there are 4,000 murdered and missing Indigenous women in Canada, what's happening? Pretty much nothing. From what I'm told by the women that work in the field, in Manitoba, for example, Sandra Delaron, Hilda Anderson Pierce, Sheila North, the women that are on the ground every day doing this work, trying to help the families, there's still no core funding for our women's organizations. And yet the politicians go on TV saying they're sending millions of dollars to our communities. For what? For what? It's just a disgusting situation. Anyways, I wanted to just come on and say how I felt, because I'm outraged. I'm really angry that people of color are killed by the police, are killed by who knows. But I'm even more angry that our Indigenous men and women and children are killed. During that ride, the most disgusting, horriblest thing I heard was that the I-5 that runs from all down the west coast of the United States has really become a conduit for human trafficking. And for those of you that don't know these kind of things, it's incumbent upon you to do a little research, spend some time. Yes, we're allowed to be happy in our bubbles, and create happiness in our own little space. But we also need to take some time to educate ourselves about what's going on outside our bubble. So anyways, the I-5 is a human trafficking corridor, and I was told by women we were told, not I, we were told by women in Portland and in Seattle that what the human traffickers do is go to powwows. And there's recording of the traffickers saying, just go to the powwow because that's where the healthiest kids will be. You know, most of those people don't drink or drug or anything. So just grab a few 12 to 15-year-olds, and they're harvesting our children for their organs, for kidney, heart, liver, for bodily fluids. This is happening in North America. This is happening in your backyard. So as we approach the anniversary of the 1 year since they did the national inquiry, and I'm sure it was good for some people, I'm sure they're going to say it was the best thing since sliced bread. But for me on the ground, I don't see any funding in Atlin or in Barons River for women and for the protection of women and children and for our down and out people who are addicted and struggling with addictions. There's nothing at the community level. Nothing, 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 nothing. It's so hard not to cry. Anyway, it's going to be a year since they did that inquiry and had a great big... My family went and testified in Whitehorse. My husband lost a sister. His community was traumatized. Has the inquiry made any difference for us? No. Nothing. It was a nice opportunity to talk, but so just more bullshit. It's so simple. Fund our women's organizations. Give us the kind of money we ask for. It's simple. Simple. Anyways, if I said anything of value, please share this video. Okay, I'm done. I gotta go shopping now. Essential shopping.